Hi everyone, welcome back to another round of How to Draw. This is a anime request of a character, so I decided to go with Chopper from One Piece. I know One Piece is still very popular today. I did not finish the series, but I would have to say Chopper is definitely my favorite character, so that's why I chose him to do this today. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So again, doing the basic shapes, we have this very large circle for Chopper's head, and then we'll do these thick U shapes for his antlers on each side. And then as soon as we get those done, we're going to add in these tiny little rectangles that connect to the antlers that come out from the front of the hat. And then we will do the body shape, which is a teardrop shape, or a pear-shaped, however you want to say it. These very skinny rectangles for arms. We'll do this one that's being held up, a teardrop shape for his first hand hoof, and then his second hand hoof has the same basic shape, but it's pointing downwards. And then we're doing the smaller rectangles for his legs. We'll do his pants later in the final drawing. As you guys know, we always want to just get the basic shapes. And then for his feet hooves, we're going to do, again, teardrop slight shapes that are a little kind of flattened on the bottom. So now we're going to go ahead and just get into the sketch. Again, we have this large circle. I think I didn't do this big enough, but that's okay. I'm going to start first with his antlers. In this drawing, guys, symmetry is very important, but it is also very hard, so don't worry about it not looking the same. Our art is never going to look exactly like the reference image, like I always say. Just make it your own thing. We all have our own styles and our own flair that we like to add to our artwork. So the more I look at this kind of looks like a particular Pokemon. I think you guys all might know him by the name of Magnemite. So he's kind of a popular character there. Here he is. So we're going to go ahead and get into the body shape, and we'll do that pear or teardrop shape, the very tiny rectangle coming out for his arm that's up. We're going to just do the basic teardrop shape for the hands, for his hoof hands rather. We'll split the hoof fingers when we get there to do more detail. And then here's this one. This is just very quick again. Sketches don't have to be perfect. You just want to get the idea down on your paper to see what you're working with, and then we add in all those details. So we have our legs, our rectangular little legs sticking out with the hooves that are teardrop shaped as well, that are flattened a bit on the bottom. So now that we have this going, we are going to go ahead and start getting into some details. I'm going to add his ears in here. So I'm going to try to do my best to go in order here. But of course, guys, as you know, I kind of go up and down. That's just kind of how I am. I kind of find things I want to add. So we have his ears here on the hat, and we're going to draw the bill of the hat here. So this one's a little hard. We'll add a little, I'd say, texture to it. It is a little fluffy, as you can see in the original. I think I might have made mine a little too wide, but that's okay. Next thing that we will add is I'm going to add the straps of the hat now. I'm going to start on the one that's behind his hand that's held up, and we're going to go ahead and do this one that's hanging down. I want you to notice here that there is a little strap holder of sorts on this side. Oops, gotta erase that, fix that a little bit. And it's kind of a squarish shape. The part of the hat that hangs down is attached to this, so make sure that you have that line going on top of that little tiny square. So now that we have that done, I'm adding a little more height to the hat. I still don't know if this is enough, but again, we're going to work through the process, see how it goes, and then if I need to fix things at the end, I definitely will make those changes. So now we're going to add in his eyes. Eyes might look a little scary at first. They are kind of beady. Somehow they made it work with Chopper's design to have kind of these little tiny beady eyes, but it works so well somehow. Usually beady-eyed characters are not very cute. So I'm going to fix his eyes probably a few times through this, either right now with the sketching and even through the line work. It is a process. So I'll add those pupils in later. So let's get to trying to fix these to make them look a little more even, especially with, again, the symmetry of art, of a piece of art rather, or character eyes or anything like that, that should look pretty symmetrical or always pretty hard to do. So don't worry about them not looking perfect the first time around. That's why we have the capability of erasing. So now that we have his eyes done, we did his hooves, we added these little circles that should represent, basically I believe, his paw pads, but I'm not really sure. And as you can see, I also split the fingers on the top on that hand being held up. So there's two little triangles, kind of look like little candy corns or just triangles with rounded edges that are coming towards that area with the paw pads. So now we're going to get into his hat. We're going to do his famous X. And now I'm going to count all his dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there are 9 dots on his hat, so let's go ahead and add them. I'm going to count them first so I can space them evenly, because as you know, we're not going to carbon copy this. We're going to draw it as closely as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to add a circle, and then I want you guys to just take a look at this tiny little area on his antler here. Kind of has like a metallic piece holding it up. And now we're going to go ahead and just move on to the antler over here. Just give it some more detail. Make sure that we add as much detail as we can in our sketch, because when we get to doing our final lines or the line work, however you're going about this, if you just want to do it with pencil or ink, or if you're doing it digitally like I am here, it's always okay to just add as much detail as possible, because you can always take the detail away. It's not necessary that you keep it in. You can always erase it. Okay, so now that I'm just kind of cleaning up things a little bit here, just making sure everything looks pretty situated, just adding some more detail to the antlers. The one that is towards the end of my area of drawing is a little short, so I might have to fix that, but we'll see how it goes at the end. Like I said earlier, I'll just get to that when we get to it. Okay, so cleaned up a little bit, but we're gonna focus on these guys a little bit up here. They needed a little bit of cleaning up. I'll fix those details later. I wasn't super happy with how they looked. So we're gonna go ahead and just add the basic outline of his shirt. So it's just a very simple, like kind of straightish rainbow shape, if you'd like to call it, that goes across his belly. Maybe I guess rainbow's not the greatest description, but we're going to go ahead and add in his pants, or his shorts, I guess is a better description. I guess they could be pants or capris because he's so short. And we're adding those into there, just adding some detail to his foot hooves and making sure they have that split for his toes of sorts. So we're adding that in, and the little line to separate the toes from the rest of the foot. So now I am adding in these stripes on his shirt. He has a very simple design on his shirt. There are a couple stripes. There's about 4 yellow stripes that you can see in the front, and the white is the opposite color. Okay, and now we are adding some crease lines to his shirt, as you guys can see on the very bottom. his shirt's just not flat against him. And now we're going to focus on the bill of the hat. It's a little fluffy, so I'm giving it a little bit of texture, those little kind of poofs, poof lines, I guess is the best way I can describe them to you. Okay, we're going to start this line work. So I'm going to speed this up again, just like I did in my last video. You guys can, again, slow this down, see detail a little slower or in real time. I'm doing this for the sake of your time. If you have more time, again, slowing down the video will let you see every single line, but you can kind of see it here. I'm trying to do it very quickly so we can get to this final product and see what we made. So I'm just going around the head first, doing that top part, and this, I'd say outlining circular things is pretty hard. It is going to take a couple times to do things like that. We're not always going to do things the first time correctly. Maybe there are some of us that are lucky that can do that, but I am not one of those people, so don't worry if you're not, because we're in this together. So I'm doing his eyes. Again, I think his eyes look a little off. Definitely have to fix that. Fixing the eye a little bit, adding his nose and snout and his little tiny mouth, and looking all happy there. And adding these dots to the hat, all 9 of them that we counted earlier. Doing the backpack detail, the hands, the arms, and then the hands, hand hooves. Fixing his hand that's going down a little bit. I did that the sketch a little high on the limb or the arm, adding in the detail for I added those details in for the shirt. We're going into the pants shorts, capris, like I said. Got to the feet, doing those, the toes, splitting those up. I'm going to fix this one a little bit. It's at the wrong angle. And again, don't worry about this looking exactly the same. So I have a pretty good start to this final drawing. However, I'm going to go around and kind of clean things up a little bit, because even though I outlined my sketch, there's still some things I might want to add, like details like these little dots. And I'm kind of looking at this a little more, and I think we're going to change these pants. These pants are a little off. It doesn't look the same, but I want them to look a little more natural. I had them not looking supernatural. Not supernatural as in ghosts, but just natural as in just not fitting what I want them to look like. Also, as you guys have heard a couple times of me mentioning this, I'm not happy with the size of the hat. I definitely did not make it poofy enough or big enough. So I have to redo the top and redo these lines, the circles, not the lines. So again, you guys can see me struggling a little bit here. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. Again, this is why I would recommend when you do your line art, or even just if you're using pencil when you're following along with me, just make sure that you are very happy before you add actual ink to your drawing if you were doing this on pen and on regular paper, not digital. So now I think we have a good chopper going on here. He's all situated, his hat's big enough, made those final edits, and I think I'm really happy with this, how this actually came out. It's probably one of my favorite ones I've done so far. So go ahead and do a little bit of a compare. It's a little bigger than the reference image, but that's okay. And now we're going to do a little dance because we just finished a new drawing, and we're going to hide because that's Chopper's favorite thing to do. Just kidding. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is our final product. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Thanks again. Bye.